Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello. You're muted, Ivan. You said a few things and then it got muted somehow.
No, you're not. So you're doing double setup
Give
like
me
in
one
Discord and
second.
Spaces?
Also
Okay,
include.
gotcha. And you're streaming this live now with video on Discord, I'm assuming. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. I can join the next time in Discord too because my camera setup is at the office. So then we have three faces to look at. Same.
Is it just my space? When I listen to it and unmute it, is it just on my side or does everybody have that issue?
Hi guys.
As if there was
I'm
some
not
auto
sure.
mute going on or something.
It's lagging behind. Like you're saying something, then a little lag, and then no voice, and then continuing again. So it's weird. Yes, like normal, like usual.
Yeah, okay, that could be. So yeah, but we have also a Discord call going on in the background. So we do have face cams and stuff. If you want to call in either this time or next time, just let us know.
Next time, today's
Uh,
Sunday.
yeah,
Next time I'll join.
perfect. And we then put the recording up as well on YouTube and X. Um, yeah. What do we do with you, Ivan? It's a little difficult for me to follow with the lag. Maybe you rejoin, or okay. I'm curious that on my X it just keeps showing you as muted mic. It keeps popping in and out. It feels different than a lag, as if
What?
there was some auto gate or something.
Weird for me. Ivan is fine, like normal.
What about me, guys? Can you hear me?
Of course.
Okay,
Hey,
then let's just kick it off, I suppose. So in that case, Ivan, what have you been up to? Because I've seen a lot of new things. I sure I've missed 2 weeks, but even like in the last week that I've been watching, I've seen a lot of things happening with the rename of the math app, with the new supplement tracking app, with all kinds of updates. So what's been going on with you?
Wait, you said Tom or Vaclav? Yeah. I think then you need to add him again because he's.
Yeah, sure. So, by the way, I just realized that it seems that there is some bug on my side whenever I'm co-host. So that's why I try to switch off. Whenever I turn into co-host of the space, I hear you wrong. Whenever I'm listener, I hear you very fluently. So whatever's happening again with the space, I find sometimes the X implementation's a little lacking. So let's see if it works as a speaker. As a co-host, something was wrong. Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't want to take it away from the indie dev talk. Yeah, I was 2 weeks in Patagonia. Well, first in Peru because my partner, my girlfriend, is Peruvian, and then in Patagonia in Chile, and doing some hiking, being completely disconnected, away from all the news. I've come back and I've just seen the whole X and whole internet is full of open claw for 10 years. It's completely different meta right now. Suddenly, recommend if you like hiking, if you like nature, it's just monumental. It's incredibly vast, and it's also really nice. Comparing to other Latin American countries, it's really nicely organized. So it's you have some level of infrastructure and like yeah, can only recommend. It's amazing. It's not that particularly special to other mountains, like if you've been in European Alps or I don't know, probably still feels the same, but just the scope of it is massive. And so you can get lost or you can rent a car and always explore new things. And that's really cool. And one thing that stands out from that whole experience is also the weather there is just brutal. Like it changes every, I don't know, 15 minutes because they have these extremely strong winds. And so you're boiling in your hiking gear at one point, and you're thinking it's the middle of summer, and then 15 minutes later, like you cannot walk against the wind, and there's like a sideways blizzard in your face. And that makes it very interesting, very dramatic. Um, yeah, so I've been gone for 2 weeks, but now I'm back. I've caught up. I'm very happy that you recorded the last two indie talks. It was very cool, and I see also the discussion is keeps growing, which is awesome. And here, especially from Ferox, he's been the most contributing to the open claw, and from Tom about what the heck is going on now. Where are we? What are we using these agents for? And yeah, I'm looking forward to the discussion. So what about the rest of you guys? What has this week been like for you? And what is the newest OpenClaw wrapper that you've been developing or using?
connection always somebody dropped again, but never mind. Not OpenCloud particularly, because I have paused this one. I tried the new GitHub workflows, and I'm going back to the basics of managing my repositories and uh, structuring them so I can churn out a lot of projects all at once. And then all these little paper cuts that I'm currently doing, like writing READMEs, writing CI tools or CI setups, all that is noise for me and distracts me from work. So I wanted to kind of make like a bot team, let's call it like that, who do my reviews, who do my CIs, and all the nitty gritty that I'm too lazy to do myself. And even then inspect the website if it has OG image, if it has an icon and stuff like that. All the health check, hygiene kind of things, which I want to just get out of the way all at once, so I can then focus only on projects. So this is the first thing that I'm trying with the GitHub workflows. I didn't try it with OpenClaw yet because I think that's too noisy and too much tokens will be consumed this way. But with GitHub workflows, I feel like this is more more efficient because it's repository based anyway. So yeah, that's the new experiment that I'm running, like small little bots for every little task that I can see and fix with it. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's I'm botting with games, yeah, but it's Git in this case.
Yeah, very well, thank you. Yeah, very well. How are you? I'm very, very, very well, thank you very much. Thanks for asking. Yeah, do you know what I must start with I just want to let you guys know that for the first time in 2 months, okay, the last 2 days here in England, it hasn't rained. I just want to let you know that, guys, because the last time we spoke, we had a laugh and joke about how it's rained every day this year. But yeah, yesterday was 15 degrees. Today's going to be 14 degrees, and that's sunny weather for me. So yeah, very happy.
Fake news, fake news. Cannot be.
No, honestly, I swear to God, I actually I remembered, Ivan, that I bookmarked a post that you put on like last week, and I was gonna reply back with some sun, but I realized I was 4 months early, so I'm still gonna wait the 4 months, and then I'll post again in 4 months to reply back with the sunny weather. But I mean, with regards to sort of like systems and stuff, I've sort of been up and down this week, really. I think although it's obviously great having a break away from everything, obviously I've just come back from having a long weekend away. You sort of feel like you're on catch up. I mean, I was only away from Friday to Monday, so it wasn't as bad as maybe being away for like a week or 2 weeks. But you sort of come back, you're catching up. What's new? Where am I really going with changelog, for example? So it's been one of those weeks at the moment, I think. Yeah.
Hello, guys.
Hey.
Yeah, I wasn't able to talk for a bit. Now I can. It's been a similar week for me too, Michael. Like it hasn't been too progressive, and I was just figuring out stuff with my OpenClaw wrapper. And one of the things that I currently struggle is uh, the scaling bit because I've got everything ready, but currently I can only support 5 people on it. So I'm figuring out how to scale it at least to dozens of people and potentially to hundreds. One of the things that I didn't think about is that the hosting providers have got limits on number of VPS instances that you can have, so number of servers. And yeah, and I'm figuring out. I'm thinking to take a different approach of getting a large dedicated server and splitting it up into virtual machines or something like that, so I can give a lot more people access. That's my current case.
Maybe to add to that, I might have an idea for you, because this is a new feature from Mastra. They have workspaces, and you can host them on Cloudflare, so like small instances, and maybe just forward those instances to the main server, and use the workspace from the main server. Then basically, then your Cloud OpenClaw in this case, it can even reuse the same commands. So it would be like a kind of a bot proxy, that I would say. Maybe this works. Not sure.
The thing is, it's like I need to find balance in terms of cost as well. I've looked into Cloudflare stuff, and I could make it work there through their sandbox environments, and they haven't got that much limits there. And the issue is costs. Like I can't spend like $15 to $20 on server per subscription. You know, if that will be the case, my subscription prices have to be like very high. They have to be like $70, $80 to me to make a profit, and I don't think people will be ready to pay that at the beginning. So I'm trying to minimize the costs, and so far, as I said, like the best option to keep server costs per user around $10 or something like that is to get a large server and split it up with VMs, like virtual machines. Because on one large server that I can get on Hetzner is 128 gigabytes of RAM, and I can split that at least to 40 people, I'm thinking, and do something like that.
And multiple small instances, like run through Kubernetes, would not work.
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly new to all of this, and I'm figuring out as I go. The solution I'm thinking about, well, ChatGPT recommended me to do is get Proxmox software on the server that allows to create virtual machines on demand. So it has a proper support like through APIs, and I've tried it yesterday, and I managed to create everything I set up, and it looks like it's going to work. So I can split through Proxmox server into as many virtual machines as I can. But I'm obviously going to split it up evenly so each user gets enough RAM to run browser and different kind of automations. That's actually a great point, Ivan. Yeah, I should consider that maybe people will be ready to pay that much money, because I mean they will get a dedicated workspace with dedicated AI that can work for them basically 24/7. That's very true. But actually, in order for me to get you, for example, guys, to buy the wrapper that I'm building, what kind of automation or skill would you like it to have?
I have one idea, but it's because I tried it and it's horrible to set up. uh, this is there's a method for structuring PRDs, which is called BMAT. And this method also has a party mode where agents can talk with each other on a project. So like discuss with each other and then create this PRD based on that. And I've not seen OpenClaw setups where you can have multiple agents talking with each other, especially um, with each other without a platform in between. Let's say that like Discord. In Discord, you can talk with each other, right? But what if this is like a background thing, and where you can even see what they talk about with each other at some point? So this would be like an interesting use case, which I have not discovered yet, how to implement this myself. But yeah, I would pay for that if it's cheap enough. Like, okay, let's do this party mode. I can hook in all my other bots that I have, and then let them discuss and go mad all at once. Yeah, I've seen this imposter games where AIs fight with each other, kill each other, and those are hilarious. And you can do this the same way, right? So you have this party mode; they can talk with each other, and then play a game or some other way, like MCP tools you can connect. This would be hilarious, yeah.
That's actually a real cool idea. So it's basically would be similar to having a group chat. So you give a task to a group chat, and then AI talks to each other and figure out and handle the task, basically.
Exactly, right. Yeah. Or you can even have a whisper mode where you don't see what they are talking about, and then they talk behind behind your back how to improve and stuff.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's
My human is making me work 24 hours a day. That's what yours would say, Ivan.
My girlfriend too. Yeah.
And he won't pay for any subscriptions either. He's tight.
Just do it.
What about you, Michael? What would you like to be automated?
Do you know what? It's a great question. I mean, I actually don't fully understand the whole OpenClaw sort of side anyway. To be fair, I don't quite get how different it is to what already is out there. Um, Obviously, I've seen quite a lot of people that have been able to sort of just buy a package that's already. Maybe it's the fact that there's so many people doing it. I don't know, but I don't actually quite understand what's different to me just doing it myself. If you know what I mean. Like, is it the fact that you can get most, if not all, of your stuff automated? But then, what's the difference with going on to like Claude or Codex and just prompting that yourself? I don't quite really fully understand it.
The main difference is that with all these chatbots, basically, you have to be active in order to get the work done. With OpenClaw, it's proactive itself. So it like you can set certain tasks to be basically triggered at any time of the day, and it will wake up, do the task, and report back to you. That's basically the simplest way to
Right.
explain.
Okay.
So, for example, when I was doing the testing with the initial versions of OpenClaw for Telegram, I just set it to every 3 hours, let me know what's my X statistics are for the day. So how many likes, how many impressions, how many posts did I did, and every 3 hours it just pings me with the stats. But you could do that with posting on TikTok, posting on Instagram. You could automate it so once a day it posts on Instagram and TikTok, and you can make the post itself.
Okay. Yeah, sounds interesting. But it also seems that most of the stuff that you could do is already there, available anyway, really, if that makes sense. So, the generic sort of user using a tool like this would be like, for example, auto posting and, reminders and things like that. So I don't know, maybe I just don't see the sort of, yeah, maybe I just don't see the full picture of it, but I just don't know whether I suppose to answer your question, I don't have any sort of suggestion of what I would want from something like that, because it seems that what I would want maybe already exists. But I suppose I can't really be fully 100% on that because I've never tried it before. So I'm sort of like probably not the right person to ask. But yeah, I mean, if I was to use a tool like that, it would be genuinely for like the day to day, keep me updated, send me reminders, give me an overview of the emails that I've got. But I'm going to guess that is actually already still available if I was to just use like an off the shelf version of it, or whichever.
Yeah, I mean the part that you're saying in terms of most of it already exists, that's true. Yeah, it's not nothing novel in terms of introducing something completely new. It's just making it easier. So instead of you setting up everything up, OpenClaw gives it in one package. Like even if you set it up yourself without third-party stuff, it's a lot easier than to set up everything without OpenClaw. The reminders,
Right.
the stuff, and the best part, in my opinion, is that you have to, in some way, for better performance, get a dedicated machine for it, whether it's a server or virtual physical computer. And I think that makes it work better. So it has its own space that it can organize by its own rules and get everything together there, and you don't have to clutter your laptop or your main machine. And it's always on, it's always in the cloud, and it's always available.
It's always available. So who is the actual? So you've got obviously a list of people, list of professionals, whichever, or indie hackers, people that don't have the knowledge of coding. Who is the actual like main selling point to this project? Like, is it a user that doesn't really have the full knowledge of being able to do it themselves? Is it somebody that, for example, is just downloading an app on the App Store that says, I want an app that gives me a reminder, gives me a summary of the emails that I've got. I mean, what is the actual main audience, or is the main target audience like?
It will be cheaper in long term to use it, and how to maximize productivity out of it. It will be very useful because it will practically feel like you talking to your assistant, your
So it's
friend.
basically like a virtual assistant on steroids, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason why I ask is yesterday I had a call with one of my customers, and when I first rang the phone number, it was a very, very obvious AI assistant that answered the phone. It was a lovely lady called Jodie, and it was very, very weird because it's the first time I've actually had the experience of talking to a like AI agent over like a business call. And at the end of the call, I had a conversation with my client and sort of queried it and asked how much it was and what the sort of feedback was on that. And he basically told me that he was paying like £55 a month for this AI agent called Jodie, who answers phone calls, sends transcripts over, stuff like that. So obviously there is a market for this. I mean, obviously it's daft to say there isn't a market for it, but I mean, it's almost as if you could like create a package where you've got like an AI receptionist, I think they call them, which then also integrates with an OpenClaw version, which could then, for example, feedback support queries, or if somebody rings up to ask for the price of something, that agent can look through a Claw app. I think, would you call it like an app or something like that? That would literally look through the whole business perspective. So I think maybe from like, I asked that question before of who would the main target audience be of OpenClaw or whatever it's called. I genuinely feel like maybe even in like the business to business side, there is a massive market in that. And I was scrolling through Twitter, just like we all do here, and one of the main things I saw, and I think even somebody mentioned it earlier, but I feel like there's a lot of people doing it that's and they're creating one for the general public, so for people to go onto an app store and download it and don't have knowledge on things like that. But I mean, I haven't seen anybody that's actually more doing it for like business to business, really, or maybe even a retail side. I don't know if you've actually seen something like that, and if you could maybe let me know if you have. But maybe that could be a sort of market to go down.
I have a story, but on the scam side. So
Oh,
they popped
okay,
up
yeah.
everywhere, and my father's business. So he does like lathes selling in between Lithuania and Germany, and in the work in Lithuania, somebody pretended it was him and called his workers on Telegram, even with voice, and tried to lure them out for, I don't know, email accounts and passwords. They
Oh,
were
bloody
like,
hell.
What's going on? Why does he ask like that?" So they called him immediately on the phone rather than Telegram, and he told me like they're trying to scam everywhere now because of
Yeah,
most likely OpenClaw, and because it's Telegram and easy to integrate. So yeah, that's kind of the scary part of this business to
yeah.
business scamming, basically.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was just sort of, I don't know if you've ever had like a call with somebody before and you sort of, get answered by an AI agent. It was sort of like it thrown me back a bit. I was sort of like, what's this about? So maybe even that sector could probably be done with improving, because the spacing in the conversation was a bit short. Well, was a bit too long, and yeah, it just didn't seem right. But maybe OpenClaw could be used for something like that. Maybe I don't know. I'm just trying to think even within the company I work for, what could be good. I mean, maybe like say an email summary, but that's already there. So yeah, it's hard really, but I mean that's the name of the game really, isn't it? It's not easy. You can't wake up one morning and say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it works. But I suppose, yeah, this is a really long answer to your question that you asked through. But yeah, I don't know what I would ask for, to be honest with you. I don't even know what day it is today, man. Cut me some slack. All I know that it's sunny outside. That's all that matters.
Yo, how's it going, everyone?
Hey,
I just
Man,
Tarek, Tarek, is it? How would you say your name, man? Is it Vanka, Ivan? What is it? Ivan. All right, all right. Ivan, Tom. I saw Tom here and I saw Václav, so I said I'll pop in and see what you boys are chatting. I haven't been to a space in such a long time, so it's actually I've only a few minutes, so I said I'll pop on and see what's going on. What have I missed? Did you only guys start, or are we discussing open claw ideas?
we are also recording, so in case you missed something, you can still watch the recording.
Okay, I best not say anything outrageous or betray what product
Don't tell.
I'm about to launch.
Now we're talking mostly on the random stuff that we are progressing on, and side story on the OpenClaw side, and then got the random questionnaire, what we would
Okay, are you
use it for, but it's fine.
are you building anything with it, Tom?
No, no, no. So I paused the OpenClaw thing because it's broken also. But right now I'm 100 little experiments all at once to consume my $200 cloud code.
Fair enough. Fair. I upgraded as well. And tell me, why do you say open claw is broken?
Not just my instance is broken. I
Ah,
managed to
yeah.
break.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. It actually was broken. The previous version before the current release, they broke it. You couldn't link it up with Telegram. But I've checked it there with the latest release from yesterday. I think it's they fixed it up again. But it's changing a lot since as you all know, it's an open source project and obviously they're flat out working on it. Plus now you have Claude. I don't know, did anyone one of you try the remote control of Claude yet? Yeah. Yeah, did it work well for you? Same. Yeah. Dude, I'm the same. I'm the same. I just, guys, the last few weeks, it's non-stop. Like the last 2 weeks, all I do is I'm on the computer all the time. I just eat and then just hang out with my girlfriend a little bit. But E- Ivan, what are you working on? Smoke tracker. What's the first one? Sober tracker? Sober or sober, like not drinking. Hey man, I don't think anyone buying from you in Russia, huh? Oh man, yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, that sounds cool. So you're like building a portfolio of apps. That's awesome. Okay, well, congratulations on making some money. Yeah, that's great to hear. And I'm sure if you keep going, like it'll something else will pop off, and you can bring it up to 7,000. I just want to quickly hop in. I'm going to be making some food soon, but just want to say hello, introduce myself, and I'm hoping to hop on, organize some spaces, and join you guys in your spaces because I missed it. I missed it. So this is the first one. Myself and Tom used to do these on the regular, like and Botswap as well, like once a week at least. So I think we'll bring this back. Anyway, guys, have a fab day, and looking forward to chatting soon again.
Yeah, you
Bye
too,
bye.
mate. Nice to meet you.
I appreciate it, Michael. Bye bye.
It's growing. It's growing every week.
Connections.
So, what's everybody else's plans for the rest of the week then? What updates are coming out? What plans have we got? Have we got any new ideas of systems that are being built at all? Or
Václav has one, right? Like this experiment. For True. For me, it's more the management side. So as I said, I want to get rid of all the paper cuts that are always needed, like boilerplate code. And because I have always these little tools that I create, and I need to always recreate the boilerplate, that's the annoying part. And this I'm trying to fix this for this whole week. So my whole GitHub repo basically, or my whole GitHub portfolio basically just auto runs whenever I poke Claude on it. He already knows the standards. He already knows the libraries. He will just create a project which I'm telling him to. And this is the main goal, to automate myself out of this equation uh, and these distractions. So yeah, little experiments here and there. Yeah, that's my nature. So I'm happy with that. I have also a lot of failed experiments. Like I joined the hackathon, remember? I also asked around, like, hey, who wants to join? And this was basically a promotion entry point for your own projects that you already have been working for months. And I was like, no, I just create a new one, randomly put in. So of course, I did not win because the other projects I was were just like peace projects. So, but yeah, it was an interesting experience. So they are mostly used just for promotion, for promoting yourself on these things. Yeah, this was the sad part. Yeah, this was sad, to be honest. I did not expect that. I wanted to have like a hacker crew around and then asking like, hey, do you do this project? Do you do that? Let's let's combine our forces. And no, no, not at all. Nobody is actually collaborating anywhere and just criticizing your own project then. And you're like, okay, that's nasty. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, the sad part. Yeah, that's a good point. I also had this. So open source is not for money, right? So if you do the same thing with little projects on open source, I did not expect this to be the same difficulty as selling it, because open source is also quite closed, and you need to be viral to go even further, or your app needs to be really good and be caught by somebody. Just like OpenClaw was not existent until like Theo and others promoted it, and then it just bombarded itself and stars after stars. So you need to have full promotion if you want to succeed in open source too, which is also like, okay, shit, everything needs to have attention and stuff like that.
Yeah, it looks
True.
like we're going back to basics of human connections and self-promotion and just people knowing about you. If people know about you, it's easier for you to promote your stuff.
True. I should do this too. Yeah, in the reverse. You first. No, you first. No, you first. Also from people that I don't even know, they're like asking me, "Oh yeah, I have been following you along." Like, are you really? I don't know you. Not even one like on any of my posts. I have not seen you before. Why? Why? What? Yeah, 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 exactly.
It's very true, but I think there is a byproduct though. Like if someone asks me, "Do you know a good app for quitting smoking and drinking?" I'm going to come back to you, Ivan, and promote your apps.
Yeah, I promoted his gym app once because somebody of the friend group already asked, like, "Oh, do you have a gym app yet?" Yeah, Ivan does one. Go for it.
Exactly.
Word of mouth. And oh yeah. Yeah, but my memory is limited. I only know the sober tracker, the gym app, and I don't even remember the others. What are my plans or something? Ah, yeah, breathing, right. The Wim Hof. Yeah, I remember.
I think it can get to the point where anyone needs something, I will just point. Go to Ivan. He probably has the app.
You have the business model right there. You have to start. Yeah, exactly. Like touch grass, but touch, I don't know, vodka or something.
Yeah, I mean, this is like one of the top 10 unethical ways to make money, which is legit.
It's money, you know.
You should do this, by the way. This would work. I'm just looking outside the window and it's very grey now. So I'm gonna assume that it's gonna start pissing it down at some point. Excuse my French. But do you know what? This week I'm gonna well, this morning I've started looking at adding a founding member status to changelog. Gonna look at adding that in, implementing that there. And I feel like I'm just gonna use maybe that as the sort of guiding point to see if people actually would be interested in using it. I mean, I still haven't actually like fully marketed it yet in terms of like posting on, you know, Reddit or like maybe posting into other sort of communities on Twitter. But I'm gonna get that sorted. Maybe use the whole month of March, maybe even April as well, as the sort of guide post. And just say, I mean, look, if 50 people pay, you know, lifetime premium, then obviously there obviously seems to be a case for it, a case study for it. So, you know, I'll use that as the sort of guide to continue with what I'm doing because, you know, I feel like you can sort of get lost, and I completely understand that, you know, systems don't happen overnight, and you don't, you know, get loads of users overnight, but you can sort of spend too much time getting too engrossed in putting, you know, features in and posting and stuff like that. There's just no return on it. It's sometimes it becomes stressful as well. To be fair, I think that's something that us founders don't really open up about or talk about. Everything seems to be sort of fine and dandy when we're all posting on X with, you know, pictures of progress and things like that, and it's great to see. But there is also a side where it's very stressful. And that's even without even thinking about the marketing side. So when it gets to that bit, I have no idea. Maybe I'll end up losing all my hair. I don't know, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to it anyway. Yeah, I don't know how many apps I need to do to get to that point, but maybe four or five. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. But then at the same time, I put a tweet up yesterday, and on the side of doing my actual job, I also do some web designing gigs here and there for friends, family, or, you know, people that have sort of been recommended to me. And it's sort of funny because like last month just gone, I made more money on that than I have done on the changelog site, and I spent way more time on the changelog site. So I sort of had like a bit of a, I don't know, bit of a talk with myself yesterday to even just say, you know, is this actually all worth it? So, you know, you mentioned on one of the on the actual thought of this call about the progress and the struggles. You know, it's a real struggle, really, isn't it? You sort of put a lot of time and money as well, you know, and that's another thing people don't really understand is it doesn't, I mean, don't get me wrong, a domain is really cheap, and, you know, if you host things on Cloudflare, it's cheap, and, you know, things like that, but there is still a cost in that as well. So sometimes it can be, and especially if you're paying £200 a month as well for Claude, um yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah. So who knows? Who knows what this week, the end of the week's going to bring? But definitely going to add the lifetime founding member section into changelog and sort of just ask around really, just see if I can get more people using it, testing it. But yeah, that's my plan. No sunbathing.
One important thing that I want to add to Ivan's story, we actually had a podcast about this and we discussed it in detail there. But I had similar thing going on in terms of deciding to go full on into indie building or prioritize day job. And for me, it was my first attempts of indie stuff and developing on products was 5-6 years ago, and at that time I went in a lot and I spend lots of money. I spend like probably thousands and thousands, not just development, but the promotion side. And at the end, it all failed. Like it failed miserably. And I just shifted my focus to day job, to my agency, and I just focused on it. And once in a while, it always popped in my head that this is not really the thing I want to do rest of my life. That's very important thing to think about, is the thing that you're doing now, whether it's your day job or indie development stuff, is it the thing that you want to do for the rest of the life? Because in my head, it always popped up, and I always knew that at some point I will just get fed up from running the agency and doing day-to-day job, and it's coming back. And this time when it popped in my head, I decided that I have to make shift. Like it's going to be less money, more stress, more work, but I have to do this decision because it's going to, even if I don't do it, it's going to pop up. It will constantly pop up to the point where I will have family, I will have a responsibility, and when you have all that stuff on yourself, it's going to be a lot harder to make the switch. And I'm doing the switch now because I have the opportunity to do so, and I haven't got the responsibility to take care. And I'm making the losses, I'm making the sacrifices in terms of stress and work. Just as Ivan said, I don't know if I will make it, it will work out or not, but I'm going to put all the effort that I have and hopefully figure out something.
Yeah, you raised a good point there, and I also feel the same. But I have a 9 to 5. But I'm also seeing these people struggling with their work and then going all in on their indie hacking journey. And I'm like, okay, if I have a work, I have safety. Why am I not doing this hardcore programming thing like they do, even though I'm currently working? So this is like a weird envy, I would say. I should do this too, but I'm scared to go out of the 9 to 5. But I should put in even more work than the others to match. And if I succeed, I can then swap out the same thing, like swap out the 9 to 5 to a indie job, like solo job. So this works the same way for people who are sidelining this and watching it from the side, with a 9 to 5 as well. So I'm always curious, like, okay, I need to do even more work now than the others.
Yeah, that's made me feel better for sure. It's it's such a it's yeah, it's just it's hard, isn't it? I mean, it's not easy. It never will be easy. Um, but you made a point there actually, Tom, about that, because I said this before and I will say it again, but I sort of I feel like I don't have to do any of this, and this is probably where I'm struggling really in a way, because you Fru mentioned there as well about is this the thing that you want to do forever, and all of those sorts of things. And like I am very, very fortunate with where I with my the company and things like that, so I don't actually genuinely need to do any of this. Creating these systems aren't really systems to get me out of the 9 to 5 or anything like that. So maybe this is probably where I fail. Maybe I just don't have the sort of mental capacity, or the idea in my brain to sort of just switch off and say, well, actually, it's not building it to move away from that. It's building it to maybe help with certain things. So maybe that's where I sort of fail at times, to be fair.
Well said. Yeah, I agree with that. Also, one thing that helped for me is like kind of a sandbox you can imagine. You can treat everything that you do as an experiment. And this one frees you up for any success or failures altogether, because an experiment usually always has an outcome, right? And you will focus on the outcome itself, and even explore yourself how you feel about the experiment. Like if you want to try indie hacking and you want to all in on that, do it for 1 week, all in on that, and then see how the end of the week feels like. If you enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it, was it too hard? And then you can adapt the experiment, and you can change the experiment. And this is one of the things that freed me up a lot of stress in this case, and I'm more productive than ever. I just isolate it into an experiment and say like, okay, I have nobody to prove to. I don't have to earn my money because I have a 9 to 5. I'm safe, and I even like my 9 to 5. So how can I structure this to be like as rewarding as possible, or even as curious as possible, to just fulfill it within 1 week or a month, or even less.
I think we can end this with the impression that at the end of the day, you have to choose the path that is best for you. Like you shouldn't listen people on internet or people around you. You just decide what is the best for you. If you think 9 to 5 is best and you enjoy it, just go for a 9 to 5. Don't look into Twitter and think that everyone has success and you should try indie building. If you like indie building, do that. I mean, we've got many choices. We live in a world where there are many opportunities, and you've got a lot of things to do and a lot of things to choose for yourself.
We will forward everybody else to that.
Yeah, we should do that. Just dedicate one session on discussing the struggles and actually figuring out how we can help each other.
Maybe you can sell like an app package. You know, gym tracker, creatine checker, water tracker, you know, mood tracker. Maybe you should put us on, you know, put me on a program and check in with me every week, see how I am, you know, like a virtual sort of counselor sort of thing.
And a new party app, so he can
Yeah.
promote his sobriety. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, interesting. I mean, look, I always say this, but it's really great to sort of, you know, be able to sort of join the spaces and actually discuss these sort of things with people within the same sort of industry. It is really great. Like I say, half the time you do feel like you're talking to the void, you know, when you're obviously tweeting about changes and stuff. But for us to be able to meet once a week and actually discuss these things obviously not in person because we're not all with each other, but you know, it does feel sort of personal, and I think it's great. And I think that, you know, if we continue doing this, it will definitely build and build and build. And maybe you can, you know, Ivan, maybe you can start saying, you know, please note that this spaces is sponsored by, you know, all of the apps that I made. Go and use them, and maybe it could work out for you then. Let's see, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, happy hacking. You all.
Have a great weekend, guys, and drink too much alcohol so that on Monday you want to download the sobriety app. It will work. Yeah, true. Yeah. No, great talking, guys. Catch you again soon.
All right. Bye bye. Have a nice one.
Yeah.
Thank
See
you,
you later.
guys.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Oi, oi, oi. You're muted in Discord, huh? Or at least you have an icon of muted on my screen. Yeah. Okay, today is not a good technical day, huh? How do I make a screenshot in Windows? I only know it in Mac. Print screen, huh? Yeah, I'll show you a mute icon. There we go. Look. Ay. Wait. Now it's working. So interesting. If I mute you, it shows me the icon of the cross microphone for you. I muted the Discord so I don't have two audios. Okay. Now it's fine. I'm not sure, dude. I'm not sure about the video today because I've seen you on Discord, like I have no idea, 10 seconds ahead of time. So you would be moving things. The whole space was delayed even